Hello, everybody. Thank you once again for joining Empowerment Network. This evening, we are blessed again to have our two friends and brothers in the house, Andy Berks and Dr. O. We always call him Dr. O, but if you want, you can call him Chaplain Olujimi. That's very difficult. Just call him Dr. O. That's easier for everybody. So let's do that, guys. And so if you saw the topic, it says ONPASSIVE takes care of your business while you take care of the community. So this evening, we want to reduce the community to we want to narrow it down to a particular community, being that of men, the servants of God. Be it, we don't want to specify to anything. We are not doing religion, but these are another group of people, is another community that does a lot for the community, does a lot for the lives of people and well-being and stuff. But then there are people that we badly need.
It looked like she's.
Could you hear me?
Yeah.
It was
badly need.
All right.
Yeah, you said badly
Andy
need,
and
and
Dr.
then
O,
you
can
stopped.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now, but it froze for a moment.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Andy, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Yes. Can you hear me, though?
Guys, let me know in the chat section. Can anybody hear me at all?
We can all hear you.
Oh, dear.
Refresh it. I think she's having a problem with her connection today, which is a bit of a shame, but there you go.
I think so, yeah.
So what were you going to bring to the table today then, Dr. O? What did you want to say?
Yeah, I pray everything kind of work out well for comfort. But we are actually here today to share, and particularly I would really like to speak to the ministers, okay, of different religion. This is not only limited to to Christian. Every religion have one thing in common, okay, and our struggle is also kind of very similar. I mean, the struggle in the sense that we, as religious leaders or community leaders, we know that we have assignment, a God-given assignment to our communities, a God-given assignment to our world, okay, and no one have good, or no one is very good at everything. Not a single person in the whole world, but everyone is good at something. And now all the assignments that are given to us for our communities are always bigger than us. It is very clear that a God-given vision is always bigger than the carrier of the vision. And then, of course, when we are given this vision, we all depend, we rely, and we pray to God at all times for the wherewithal to kind of carry the vision to get the job done. Okay, God gave us burdens for our communities, give us burdens for, in whatever area, small community, large community, state, locally, in every way. And whenever we receive that assignment, then we are now confronted with some challenges of how to get, the job done. And that is where then we all look up to God. We all begin to pray to God. And it is very clear that God is not going and to get the job done for you. That is where we need to understand, to plug ourselves into the different people here and there that God has called. Like I said, the area where God called me is different from area He called you, and what you are gifted with, what you are trained, with or for, and what you are capable of doing. It all varies, and so our world therefore is interdependent. Okay, I'm going to need you. You're going to need me. We are going to need one another in the process of the assignment that God has given to us. In order to accomplish that, we want to come together. We want to relate to one another so that I can have what you have in order to support and to help me accomplish what I want to accomplish. I mean, Andy, you will agree with me that no one can point to a car, Mercedes, Pontiac, any and every kind of car, Lamborghini, whatever it is, and said, I manufactured that car. That will not be correct. You did a part in the manufacturing of that car, and could be in a very small portion of it, large portion of it, or what have you, but you did not manufacture that car. You cannot point to a house and say, I built that house. No, you did not. You are you are a team builder. You are one of those who built that house. You did your own aspect and somebody else did his own aspect. So in life, as a minister of God, I found out that each and every one of us, we are called, and God have purpose and assignment for each and every one of us. And like I said earlier, our assignments are always bigger than us. Therefore, we need collaborations. We need other people to be able to get the job done. And that is where, I see the uniqueness of the assignment of our CEO, Mr. Ash Mufara. And I've said this in every time I have the privilege to speak. It really was very clear to me from the onset, the kind of person that God brought into this generation. Because at any given time, God brings leaders, and with some unique and unusual grace, and with an unusual assignment. Okay, and so that is why now our CEO is not omnipresent, but yet he has a global vision. It's not God. Mr. Asmofar is not God who can be present at all places, at all time, and everywhere. It's not. Yet he was given a global assignment, a global vision, and a vision that will impact the globe, that will impact the entire world. As a result of that, that God gave him, you see, the vision was very the globe that will impact the entire world. As a result of that, the vision that God has given to Ash, God raised him up for a global vision, like I said, and the strategy of that vision is also divine. It's also divine in the sense that, God gave him the how to handle this. If I sent you to the entire world, and you have the burden, the passion to impact and to touch every single communities in the world, every place in the world, in different areas, how will I get this done? That is where now, and I, each and every Christian can relate to, to one thing about our Savior, that I believe my Savior, our Savior, Jesus Christ came to this world. He has the whole world in mind to reconcile the world to God. And then he raised up disciples. He poured himself into these disciples, and each disciples in turn, they now go on and raise more disciples. And that is how the whole world today, Christ lived there only 3.5 years. And all other spiritual leaders, they also lived here limited time, and they have some unique great things that they had to accomplish. And so they raised disciples, and they poured themselves into disciples, so that disciples can in turn begin to raise more and more people. That is how, we get this. That's how we all get to be who we are today in whatever religious, area that we are in. And so, as from day one, when I saw the Ash opening the door and bringing in my word now, disciples, and really spending time to pour himself, to share his vision. My Bible that I read said, write the vision down, make it plain, and those who hear it, they will run with it. So each and every one of us will now become a disciples into this very great man that God has raised up. And then with the understanding of the fact that he has what it takes in not only in the finances, but also in all the tools and all the equipment that is needed to do whatever God has given us to do. So what ONPASSIVE is doing, therefore, is just what our topic says here today, taking care of what we need to take care of the assignment that God has given unto us. A very, very unique way of one person who is not God, who is not omnipresent, but being able to impact and reach the entire world. And you can only get that done through discipleship and through bringing in people, through creating this very kind of unusual, way of raising both the poor, the rich, the have not, and whatever the status in life. You find someone in every aspect, in every status of life, you find somebody in the ONPASSIVE. And so it won't be difficult for the poor to to have access to only the rich where they can get the information. No, because there are poor, there are rich, and the in between, and everything in between. And so it becomes necessary for us, therefore, as we continue to relate and to come together as a family, this global family of ONPASSIVE, we are understanding the vision of the ONPASSIVE, we are understanding the global vision and all the resources that is available, including financial resources, so that at the end of the day, it becomes easy for us to reach the entire world. And as He helps us with this, we take this and go back into our community and share what it is and have what we need to do to get the job done. I think that is, so let me pause there right now. So that, so that is how it is easy for me and all the ministers of God to really understand, because we know something about discipleship and how Christ strategically planned and reach the entire world, that we are still reaching the world. We still continue to reach the world today. And that is what I see ONPASSIVE will continue to do, until every single place is touched and blessed with what ONPASSIVE has to offer to this world. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. O. Andy, did I lose something? Should I let you go from there? I had a follow-up question, but if I missed out on something, do you want to just speak on that, or do you want me to ask Dr. O one question? I can't hear you. Guys, let me know if you can hear Andy, please.
Yeah, no, I'd had it muted.
Okay.
That's my fault.
All right.
Silly me.
I thought it was me again.
Yeah. Listen, there are certain things that Dr. Rose said that I agree with. We all see vision. I get that. I see that we have over 4 million or over 3 million customers right now, and over 1 million paid customers, and at some point in the future, those paying customers who are undoubtedly likely to be affiliates and early birds that Ash set up for us are going to have income coming in over and above their needs. And when that happens, we shall see a lot of these people helping others, doing things within communities. I've just said on OP Digital Blueprint, there are two ways of looking at this. One is providing funds or making funds available for things like orphanages, hospitals, etc. And the other side of the coin is to make funds available for inventors to bring new technologies forward that will help entire communities, things like water creators, free energy, and many more. Unfortunately, the US government have suppressed over 5,300 patents since 2010. Now that's an incredible number of new technologies that could have come forward that would undoubtedly help communities. Now, I believe in a creator, and I believe in light and dark, but I'm not a religious person by any stretch of the imagination. What I do believe in is the power of people, and the fact that, we have met because of ONPASSIVE. We would never have done that. And that makes a difference because it brings like-minded people together. and that for me is more important. So having lots of like-minded people together under one umbrella, which is what Mr. Mufara has created, is something very special that I get, and that over time will undoubtedly ensure that many people and a lot of humanity benefit from the system that's been set up. I'll leave it there and let it move it back to you, Comfort. You missed the first bit, so but yeah.
All right, thank you. Thanks so much, guys. I apologize, and I'm so happy and thankful to God that Andy came, because Dr. O would have been left to himself. So I appreciate that. So I'm not sure if I'm asking a question is something you already discussed, then we just ignore and keep the discussion going, guys. So let's share this, share your thought in the comment section. Once we had this discussion, Aisha was here from the Muslim community and she shared a lot. I think she needs to come back again and let's hear more about this. So Dr. O, I wanted you to paint a picture, because what we are doing, my interest here is pitching this opportunity to people who are either ignoring it due to out of ignorance, or who don't just have any idea at all. Sometimes servants of God, they go through so much difficulty, especially financial difficulty. So they have two tasks at hand: raising their families, and of course raising the family of God and you cannot lead a people without enough time, investing enough time to study, to do research, so that you bring the right information. So maybe you comment on this, let them know, because sometimes what is killing people is that ignorance. Again, I'm not sure there's a better word for it. When some people, especially in the Christian community, when they hear an opportunity like this one, they just block it without even standing to listen. That is a good thing. They're just like, no, money coming from internet is not good money, it's evil and stuff like that. So if you can share the difficulties they have, so that you paint the picture of ONPASSIVE, how ONPASSIVE will step in, taking care of their business while they do the right job for the community.
Thank you very much, Comfort. Well, of course, so let me first of all say this to Andy. I use the word that is, kind of very religious, but I want to understand that discipleship is a method, it's a concept, it's something that you don't have to be Christian or Muslim or Hindus to really understand it. I mean, it may be called, different names, in different places. It's a system whereby you want to get a message across to the world, and you are but only one person. That's why I said Ash is not God. It's not omnipresent. Omnipresent means it cannot be present at the same time everywhere, because it's just but one person. Okay, so the concept of discipleship is a concept whereby you want to pass a message across to the entire world, and you are but one person, and you raise up few people, you empower them, and you send them forth to go and begin to pass the message across and get it across to other people. That is just how, that's the concept. And I said, but then, like I said, for Christian and Muslims and other religion, it's a very, very easy concept for all of us to understand, because we struggle. Like I said, everybody's vision is bigger than us, by far bigger than us. And God have a plan in place to really get this done. And then, and it is written in my Bible that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So the only way for us to understand how to get this done and how to get out of all the struggles that has paralyzed, many of us, or that has really put a lot of us into unnecessary, problems, health issues, and all that kind of thing, is the ignorance of how to reach out and how to understand the fact that God is never going to come down physically in the form of angel or whatever, but he will use people around you, okay, to really get it done. In the business world, in the secular world, I mean, people understand you open a restaurant, definitely you need customer. And so then when you have few people that have come, and then they go out to tell others, or you put on your marketing or whatever the system, you put it in place, because it's a game of number if you're going to succeed. And the only way to get it across is to really have people who will go ahead and tell other people. So as ministers of God in whatever religion, that we find ourselves, because wonderfully, Muslims do a lot of charitable things. It is in their doctrine, to do giving. In fact, they do it just as great, as good as they understand, the Quran that they read. It's all there. It's not only even the traditional people, whatever, every human being, it's the way God actually, make this world interdependent on one another. That's why it didn't make anyone an island. And so, but then let me come into the Christian circle. Now, a lot of people look at ministers of God and they think they do not really understand that we all go to the same market they go to. We all do, this just about everything. We have family to take care of, and we have this God-given assignment that we need to take care of. And you see, a lot of things that our CEO said is I can easily connect with it and relate with it. For instance, when he says something like it is do or die, I'm like, that is what it is. My Savior Jesus Christ came in and he laid his own life down for his friend. He said, greater love has no man than this, that a man will lay down his life for his. He didn't just say he did it. You understand? Because of the love he has for us. So in order for us to really get this thing done, and he knows that God gave him this assignment, and he eat it, he drink it, he wake up with it, he sleep with it. That is just what it is when you have this great vision. And in order to get this done, therefore, the struggle really become, become real. We live in the real world. Now, there's some situation going on in the body of Christ today. All over social media, people are criticizing the pastors, criticizing ministers of God, talking every kind of thing, how they take, tithe and offering in the church, how they do this or that. In order to get the job done, Christian ministers, listen to me carefully. I understand that you need resources to get it done. If it's not bigger than you, that assignment is not bigger than you, it's not from God. It is bigger than you. And God knows, therefore, that there are resources that he will supply. Okay? The part of the blessing of God is to open our understanding, to open our eyes into what is going on around us. And if you decide to close your eyes into things that are happening, when God sends help, if you lack understanding, you will not know how to embrace those things. Of course, there are wrong people, there are a lot of people who have taken advantage, who have done so much evil in the world. That does not really mean that, so there can be no counterfeit without the original first. It is from the original thing that the counterfeit things, the fake things come forth from the original thing. So when God raised, a lot of people, I understand, you had really plugged into so many things that didn't work. Of course, that is true, and it's going to continue because there are a lot of wicked and evil people who are just out there for what they can grab. Okay, but for those of us, when we see this and you study it and you prayerfully look into that. Now, a lot of people think that, anything that has to do with internet, with online, it's all evil. I know some countries. I'm not going to mention countries. I'm not here to put any country and everything. I don't want to, to offend anybody. But there are some countries where, they arrest all these young generations every single day, and they say, they are Yahoo people. They arrest them, chain them, lock them up, and take them. And I'm like, how much of the opportunity in the internet does this government of these nations understand? I tell you honestly. So that has really keyed into the fabrics, into the sense of many of the pastors also. The moment you said, it's an AI, it's an online thing, they just draw the curtain. Yahoo, I don't want to do no Yahoo. I'm here to tell you this, okay? That this unpassive it has nothing to do with Yahoo thing. It's not an online business. You understand? It has AI with the heart. It's a business that God really gave someone an idea on how to really, the online happen to just be the best means of communicating this across the globe. You understand? And if you close your eyes because you are afraid of these things, you're going to continue to struggle and to suffer. And I don't see how you want. I'm going to give you an example. Okay. I have an assignment that's much bigger than I am. For over 20 years, by the grace of God, I have been touching lives. And I can only do as much as I have resources to do. In several communities, in some countries in Africa, which include Nigeria and Sierra Leone and Ethiopia and all the other places like that, we are reaching out. We see communities that are seriously in need. We have done so much in the area of healthcare. I mean, for several years, we minister to not less than 10,000 people every single year and giving them free healthcare and so on and so forth. And then it got to the point when we now see that a lot of issues that people are going through is by far beyond just give them a 1 week medication to take them for 1 week or what have you like that. And then, of course, we have the need. We have financial need, financial constraint. We just can't do all of this. And we prayed, to God to send help. You see, the prayer is always for God to open our eyes to see and to understand. Now, God is, I remember once upon a time, the Lord let me know that money is not going to come from heaven. Every resources that is needed is already here on earth. Connecting with it, understanding how to go about it is where the issue is. So all those who are angry with the pastor because of the tithe and offering, you and I, we can help them. When we plug in, when God has raised up ONPASSIVE, and ONPASSIVE is going to provide all the tools, different tools to get our job done, and also with financial help, also support to get the job done. And if you close your eyes at this and you said, I can't, it's not, I think you need to go back and pray, okay? And to understand, because this is from God. I've been in this ONPASSIVE for 6 years, and I know exactly what I've been hearing. I know what I'm saying, and believe me, go back to God and go pray about it and get under. To be very honest, I'm very happy. I'm just one of several hundreds, if not thousands of pastors who are in ONPASSIVE. I mean, I did my little, on that research. There are several thousands of pastors in ONPASSIVE. And if today you think you are smarter than all of them who are there, well, God bless you, So, but I'm just saying this. Let us have an open heart. Let us know that God has raised up a leader here who he has blessed with so much wisdom and grace, and then is out here to help me fulfill my vision. Like I said, now at a point, my organization, we have to build a healthcare center from foundation up. And it's been about 5 years now that we've been, about 7 years actually, we've been operating that healthcare without charging the community any money, not even for the registration card. They come in for free. We take care of them. And the doctors and nurses get paid to do all of this, but we do not charge the community. We do not take any money from them. And there are several communities who have been waiting for us to replicate that in their areas. But we don't have the resources to spread this across. They will go to the hospital, government hospitals, and they can be there for all day before they get little or no attention. But they come in here, they spend an hour, 2 hours, doctors have seen them, and they are good to go. And we operate, diabetes and hypertension clinic, that where we give them sufficient, medication to take them to the next month, and they come back for medical review, and we're going to review them and see, do they need more, do they need less, and everything. And we've been doing that for 7 years. I tell you honestly, when ONPASSIVE launches and we begin to, when we get to the next level, when Apple begin to fall, my goodness, guess what's going to happen? I will replicate that very great gesture. I will have these healthcare facilities in only God knows how many places. That is what I'm talking about. That is what ONPASSIVE is out there to help us to do. And not only in the finances, but also, other materials, other things, because we have several other people that we empower in different areas. We're going to look at how ONPASSIVE and all the tools can help them to succeed and do their business better. And before you know it, the burden is taken away from me as a pastor. Because when you empower all your members to be able to get their business done, I mean, I don't know, seriously, the need will be that will be reduced drastically every single day. And that is really what I want to really ask all our ministers and Christians, and not only the ministers, there are several Christians who go to churches and they are receiving inspiration from God to really reach out and to help the communities. I tell you, this is the right place to be. I haven't seen anything, anything like this, to be very honest, because our CEO is not there to make money. It's not there. It's not hungry. It's not there to make money. I can confirm that, because you know what? I've been around for 6 years now, and I know the way they do things. Those who are really out there to rake people and to take money from people. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. O. And listening, because there are certain things you just want the people speak from within, so that people who are addressing should get it really right, So Dr. O is just the right person to say this kind of thing, addressing the people from his Christian or leadership community. Imagine how many tens of thousands of lives that they impact every day, giving free health care and stuff. This is an opportunity to do more, because those tens of thousands are just a tiny little fraction of the people who are suffering. The opportunity is here, you are shunning from it. So I'm just like, what is happening? So we get really worried because we know what people go through. And then when they see an opportunity, they run away from it. And again, Dr. O also mentioned this, Andy, which we also know. Some people, because they tried and failed, or they heard that somebody tried and failed, they don't try again. Do we just stay here and remain here because somebody tried and failed, or because we tried and failed? I don't know, but I'll just let you comment on whatever you heard from Dr. O.
I mean, as I said, there's a lot that Dr. O says that I resonate with. I believe that, let's take Amazon as a good example. Amazon have created over 40 years, over 20 years, something like 40,000 billionaires. I truly believe that ONPASSIVE will create over 1 million millionaires in a much shorter period of time. And I mean, there is a phrase, if you're an idiot without money, you're going to be a bigger idiot when you have money. So you got to be a little bit, I do truly believe that we have 1 million people on the platform right now that are affiliates, and I truly believe that the vast majority of these people will help communities, will do something within communities, will be able to add to good causes. As I said, I'm an advocate for inventors to bring forward new technologies that will help whole communities. There's a young in Zimbabwe who's created a helicopter that electric helicopter, but it charges itself, a car that runs on ambient energy. But he's had 8 assassination attempts so far, and he's not even in his 30s yet. It's these type of things we have to bring forward, because all of the technology that these inventors can create are there to benefit all of humanity. And these are the type of things that I want to help with. We've already done a webinar on with OS several years ago now, and the speakers, the presenters were from a company that have created a system that creates water out of the air, and it still works in the desert. They've also created system that can provide electricity for whole communities from magnets. There are, if we've got the basics in place for everybody, it's great. Then if I take it one step further forward, for instance, in 2003, we have a program in the UK. It used to be called Tomorrow's World, and it showcased all of the new technologies that were being brought out. And a chap called Michael Berks, no relation, mine's got an S on the end, it's spelt totally differently, but He did an expose on what he classed as an atom fabricator, which meant what he did was you put rubbish into a container, and the atom fabricator rechanges the atoms and the molecules in that waste, converts it to whatever you choose. Now, just think if every community around the globe had one of these things that could create a steak dinner out of soil and earth, because everything is made up of atoms. Yeah, everything is made up, and all you're doing is you're switching or changing the atoms from one shape to another. So, okay, I've gone a bit way out there, but this was 20 years ago. You're not telling me that the technology hasn't moved on since then. I won't believe it, because our technology is growing exponentially. The simple fact of the matter is that a lot of this stuff has been hidden from us, or the inventors have been too frightened to bring it forward to us because of a fear of their life. Now, if you've got a company the size of ONPASSIVE, a unicorn company, and we bring them into our fold and say, listen, guys, we will provide the relevant monetary requirement for you to be able to go out and do your thing and bring that new technology to market. That's phenomenal. That's what we want. That's what we want to see. Now, interesting, you said, you know, you have this one man, and what he's done is created disciples to spread the word. Well, I don't call myself a disciple, but as an affiliate, that's exactly what we do. And there are over 1 million of us, and and it's almost like saying, well, I'm a salesman, but I'm not. I'm sharing. And this is the point that we've been trying to put across to everybody since we first started. I'm not selling anything. I'm sharing. I'm simply spreading the word. Exactly. Because the word is an opportunity for every single person that has an internet connection to either have a business or a better product. Or if they've already got a company, they've got a better product. But if they want to build a business, they can then help others. And that is where the foundation of these 1 million affiliates are going to go and move to, that we're going to start helping others and bringing more and more people into the fold. Yeah. So that's kind of the way I look at it.
Yeah, sure. This is something that can go on and on and on and on. So, Dr. O, I'll give you the opportunity now to make a call to action. Just give a reason to anybody listening to us, either now, live, or later on, even years to come, why they should just stop by and have a look on ONPASSIVE. So, your last remark, please.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let me let me just shout out to all the ministers and all the wonderful people, because I'm personally very excited. These days I hear a lot of people who are not even, they don't have any kind of title. They understand, God's love. They've embraced the love of God, and they are sharing that, that love to other people. It's not because they have a church or because they are, anything, but it's just because they care for humanity. And that is a lot of our people are doing that these days. Okay. And I want to say this to you now. Let me quickly give an example. I'm not going to mention the country and the church, but I mean, those who know what I'm saying, they can relate and they will know, oh, he's talking about us. A young man in a very, very big church in a very great country invented something. This past year. Now, this guy did a little, something. He had a water container, and he was able to put 2 + 2 together and generated electricity. The main ingredient actually was water and whatever other component that he put together and everything like that. And then, of course, this other was so great. He shared it with the general overseer, with the church and other people there. But I was shocked the day I saw that they were talking about, when there was no way this guy could actually, produce or really make good this very invention, this idea. Another elderly person who had some, I don't know, opportunity to go to India, took this guy to India. And China, I'm sorry, to China. It was in China that he now signed a contract to produce those things. And it really, really shocked. I was so angry the day I saw that. And I said, with such, with that very big church, you can't sponsor this, and kind of you have to take it out of the country into another country for those who understand vision and who can see afar and everything. So these are some of the things that are happening, in the body of Christ in churches today. Now, my appeal to us is this, okay? I know a little bit, by the grace of God, to understand when I see something, and I've closely monitored it, listened, and become the disciple of this man for 6 years now. Because maybe where some of you are today, maybe I was there when I started. I came in, I actually signed up for my first account September, 3rd of 2019. And I looked at it first myself. I was on my way to Ethiopia on a mission field. I looked at it. If a friend shared it, I said, okay, I'm going to look at it. I'm going to just pray about it and everything like that. Because I've done some things in the past that didn't work. You're not the only one that has done things that didn't work. Okay. Then when I came back and I began to, and I attended, weekly meetings. I mean, our CEO give a whole lot of information out every single week. The meeting goes on. It will appear in several meetings. You can't, if you are saying the truth, you don't have to remember anything that you said. This man continued every single week dishing out, and I began to see the progress. I began to see the sincerity, the genuinity, the sincerity of heart of this man. And of course, it didn't take me long when I just said, you know what? Then not only that, when you come into ONPASSIVE, especially right now, you sign up for free. Because, because maybe the mentality, some of you probably think, oh, now I'm going to join that, then I'm going to be losing money again. I got news for you. Do not come with your credit card. You don't need anything. You don't need any money. You got to stand up. There are some of the free products you continue to enjoy. We have 3 of them right now, free products that you do your search. You got to find out those who are using those products, they are paying so much. I remember the first time I told my son-in-law about this very product, and then when he saw one of the products, like this, he took out his keychain, and he showed me a little, something attached to his keychain. It was during the pandemic, and he said, "This is what this product you just showed me in ONPASSIVE is all about here." And he said, "My company will pay 25,000 every single month to use this very tool from another company." And he said, "Wow, you mean if I join this, I can have this same tool and I'll be using it for free simply because I am a member of this family?" I said, "That's exactly so." So I want to encourage us, come and check it out. Don't take my word for it. Come into ONPASSIVE, sign up for free. No one is going to ask you for your credit card information, nothing. Look at the products that are free and study the ones that are not free. And then, you just decide from there. But I want you to, just don't close your mind. Don't close up. If you do that, you will be losing out. This is one of the things that God said when he said, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge." Don't continue to struggle unnecessarily. Come and you'll be very happy that you do. So, that's an invitation to everyone that is hearing me now live, or those who will hear this even afterwards when you check that out on the page where our sister Comfort will put it. So, Comfort, thank you very much for really, for getting this done, and
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Oh, that was a powerful closing remark. Andy, another quick one from you, please.
There's not an awful lot more I can add to that. I think the best analogy I can give you is you don't drive a car or don't buy a new car unless you've test driven it. Come and test drive ONPASSIVE and see for yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think that summarizes it all. Come and test drive it, and if you think that's the thing that you are looking after, then go for it. You don't need any card, like Dr. O says. And this is a quick one to Christians. I think Dr. O will understand me and everybody here. If you have ever tried something and failed, or you heard that somebody tried and failed, and you keep looking back, I'm afraid you may turn into a pillar of salt one of these days. Pop in, test the new products, and if you think, and then see the difference, and do yourself a favor. If you don't need it for yourself, you need it for the community that you serve. You need time and all of those things. And dear people, we were addressing a particular people, but this goes to anybody at all. Don't look back. When you fall, you stand up and move on. You don't stay where you are, because if you stay there because you fell last time, then you will be stuck behind by yourself to yourself, and everybody will be gone. This is just that opportunity where you pop in and you just go say, let me have a look. By the time you get in there, you never want to come back. That's unpassive. We don't sugarcoat. We present just love and we put it exactly as it is. We don't have to do it, but we share it because it's exciting and there's still room for anyone. So thank you for joining. Thanks for all the comments, the contributions. Thank you, Dr. O. Thank you, Andy. See you soon, guys. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.